Hello, friends. Hi, my name is Emily. I am a certified Christian life coach. And today on my channel, we are going to talk about secrets to living the life that you want. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is mainly because so many of us are searching for the reason why we are here. And this really starts to cloud the reason we feel good about our life or how we're living our life or what we're accomplishing in our life. So much of who we are is tied to what we're doing, what we've accomplished, the title that we have, the responsibilities that we hold. And so it clouds our joy and contentment and excitement when we're confused about our purpose and what we're doing here and the reason why, right? All of us want to feel like we have significance in our life, that we are making an impact, that there's a reason for us to be here. And that's really born out of the desire that God placed in our heart to serve the Lord and to be passionate about helping other people. And so, the thing I wanted to talk to you about today is that the secret to living the life that you want really comes into play when you are intentional about what you're thinking in regards to why you're even here. Okay. And that is the subject that I want to talk with you today about because I myself have struggled in this area. Like, why am I here? A lot of my confliction came from after getting done with my degrees and landing my quote unquote dream job and establishing a home and a life that I felt like I wanted and had always desired to have. Things were not adding up, mainly because I hated my job. I had gone to school, I had, done all the things. I had I got multiple degrees. And thought I had it figured out, thought I knew exactly what I was put on earth to do. And when I came into that position and those goals were achieved, I was miserable in my life. And mainly because I recognized that I did not pursue what in my heart I truly value. And each of us are different and we each value different things. But the one resounding commonality between all of us is something that God wrote on our heart and is the main purpose for us to be here. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So if you look in Mark and it's referenced in Matthew as well. But if you look in Mark, chapter 8, I want to say, I should have wrote that down. But the disciples basically asked Jesus, like, what is our purpose? Like, what is the main commandment that we are to follow? What's the most important commandment? That's what they ask him. What is the most important thing we're supposed to do? And he said, first, love God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. And second, love your neighbor as yourself. So why is this the secrets? Why are these the two secrets to living the life that you want? Well, when you are thinking about your life through those two commandments, those two purposes, a lot more begins to make sense in our life. Because the truth is, regardless of your circumstance, regardless of the job title that you have, regardless of the uh, accolades that you've acquired, the different acronyms at the end of your name, or the certain financial success you've achieved, or any of that, it doesn't matter if you're not serving Christ because no matter what external factors you gain and you achieve, nothing is going to give you fulfillment in the way that Christ does. It's like the proverbial every time you earn $1,000,000, you still want more. Every time you make it to the CEO position, you want a bigger company to um, organize and lead. No matter what size house you get, you always would want a bigger one. No matter what car you drive, you could always use a nicer one. It's just that because what is going on in our external world holds no candle to the joy and the peace and understanding that Christ can give to us, okay? And that's what I wanted to talk about with you because I know. And it's not a condemnation that you shouldn't have goals and you shouldn't achieve them and you shouldn't work your dang best at what's in front of you because you want that leadership position. Go after that. But you can't find your identity in that. Because everything of this world will turn to dust. Everything in this world can change in a heartbeat. Everything in this world can go bye-bye. Who you are is who you are here, and who you are here is how you hold Christ in that place in your life, in your heart. And that is where you can truly have excitement and joy and fulfillment and contentment because you experience that peace and that foundation of it doesn't matter what's going on around me. Everything that's happening in my life is working together for His good and His glory. And that is ultimately for my good and my glory, or not my glory, but my best, right? So if we're pursuing God and praising Him and lifting His name on high, that serves our life well because that is uh, sharing the love of Christ is the most significant thing we can do in our life, right? And it's the most fulfilling thing. So, have you ever met, someone who's going through the unimaginable? I've had these experiences in life where I meet people that maybe they are literally know that they are dying from a chronic illness that they're not going to be able to beat. And it's just literally a matter of time and the right things to line up for their body to just not be able to take it anymore. Um, are seeing someone lose someone in a way that is traumatic and heartbreaking and devastating. And you look at these people and you wonder how are they waking up each day and being joyful? And sure, I'm sure they have their moments of sadness and grief and darkness. But overall, you meet these people and you're just mesmerized by their ability to sustain joy and love and to exude that and to be an example of that despite the unimaginable. And that's the reason because they don't have their identity in the health of their body or in the circumstance of their life playing out how they expected. They're able to have peace because they know that there is a resounding truth and purpose to their life. And if what they're walking through can be an example of that to others, then they are content in that. And when I think about those examples and the people I've met that have been that and have shown that, at first you can kind of feel guilt and shame that, wow, they're walking through this and I'm walking through nothing in comparison, but yet I'm not as confident as them. I'm not as excited about waking up as them. I don't feel happy about my day like they do. And you begin to condemn yourself and feel like, why? But that's not the place we're supposed to live. I think it's more important to think of those examples as a opportunity to help improve your perception, my own perception about things, and to put into perspective what really is priority. Because if our main purpose is to love Christ with all our mind, body, and soul, and to love our neighbor as ourself, well, we can do that regardless of the job that we have, regardless of the frustration we may be feeling, the um, difficult seasons that we might be facing, whether it's with our relationships, whether it's within ourselves, we can still do those two things. And if we do those two things, God rewards our hearts in that way because having those two purposes, those two secrets to living a life well lived and well marked by God is that life becomes not about serving ourselves, but serving others. And just like you've always heard, it's better to give than to receive. That's because it fulfills this gap in our heart and in our mind that no matter what we tried to put in it, could never accomplish. There's something about showing up for someone else. There's something about loving someone else. There's something about loving God and Him being at the helm of our day to day lives. If you want to live the life you want, you have to decide you're going to. And if you want to live the life you want, You have to have your heart purposed in the right perspectives, loving God with all your mind, body, and soul, and loving your neighbor as yourself. Because when you are walking through your life with those two things on your heart and mind, your choices are different, your thoughts are more positive and loving, and your life changes. You go to sleep feeling excited about tomorrow and how you're going to feel tomorrow. Why? Because you've purposed your heart to give rather than to receive. And through all of that giving, you understand more about yourself. You have more clarity. I've always been the person that has had all these decisions to make, all these dreams to pursue and goals to achieve and things I wanna make happen, and my mind is always racing at 1,000 miles per hour trying to figure out, "How can I do all of this? How can I accomplish all of this?" That I'm not even living in the present moment. I'm not living in my, um, reality because I'm always thinking about when I get this done, da 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 da. The next step I need to do is da 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 da. And I'm not living in my most present moment. So it clouds my judgment and makes me confused because I'm trying to balance a life that I'm actually living with a life that I think that I want to have, right? You can't live in the in between. You have to live in the reality of now. And so when we have these two things on our heart and in our mind to be purposeful about and to live our life according to, clarity becomes obvious. You start to see opportunities and see the pathway to accomplish them much clearer than uh, anticipating what's to come that may never be. And so, my my true recommendation to you all is to have your goals, write them down, break them down into small steps, put those small steps into your calendar, make steps to accomplish each of those tasks each and every day. So you're moving towards your goal, but also not being bound by your expectation of that goal, what it is to look like, what it is to be. Rather, you are waking up each day knowing I need to get these things done to be productive in my life because I'm sure most of us have jobs and most of us have responsibilities that we have to do to make life go and to live the life that we've been placed in. But also to not be controlled by the future or asking why. Rather, we have an idea, we've broken it down into steps that we can do. So we're pushing that needle forward and we're moving forward in those efforts to work towards that passion, that calling you've had in your heart or that decision that you've made that you need to make, materialize. So you're making the steps to do that, but you're also focused each day on how am I loving the Lord? Am I loving him with all my mind, body, and soul? And am I serving others? Am I loving others as myself? And when we do that, we are positioning our minds and our thoughts to be much more efficient and productive because we're not wasting time being grieved. And that's the nuts of it. That's the heart of what I want to encourage you to do today. Make your goals, set your intentions, put them in your calendar, and then adjust your perspective that today I'm going to love the Lord with all my mind, body, and soul and everything that I'm doing. And I'm also going to serve others and love others as I love myself. And the key component to that is you have to love others as you love yourself. So if you're not loving yourself, can you love others? So part of living a life well, the third secret is to take care of yourself. And what does that mean? Well, I can't answer that for you because we're all uniquely made and we all uniquely have different needs. I have a need that I deal with mental health things. I suffer from OCD. I have dealt with anxiety and depression in my life off and on. And there's lots of things I do to help myself. And one of those is I mean, I work out every single day. That's a balancing act. I have to do that to feel mentally well. And and so taking care of myself and loving myself, that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I physically take care of myself by working out. And then I'm able to mentally and purposefully achieve more in my day because I've done that. And you might need to play your instrument. You might need to socially interact with someone. So you may need be the type of person that You need to call a friend every day and connect emotionally and socially with someone else because that fuels who you are. You may need to, rest, right? Um, there's so many different ways that we balance our mental health with the things going on in our world, and we have to be able to recognize those things. So daily, you have to do things that serve yourself well, eat well, make good, healthy choices for your body so that it's functioning optimally. Know when you've said yes to too many things, know how to say no, right? Train yourself to know your limitations and then to know what you need to rely on Christ to help you pursue and push forward in order to maintain a healthy, a mentally healthful um, disposition about the things that you're choosing to do. It can be so easy to say yes to everything and say no to ourselves, but you're not going to be able to pour from an empty cup, as they say. So, the key to living the life you want and to living a life that you desire is number one, to come to terms with what are you doing here? What is your purpose? Because when you can answer that question, so much of your worry and angst and seeking dissipates. I live liberated because I know that all I have to do is show up consistently each day and tackle the things that I need to tackle to push that needle forward and to, you know, provide the life that I need to for my family and myself. So I do those things, but I also have the expectation that even if all of that goes to heck in a handbasket, if I am praying to God and loving him with all my mind, body, and soul today and worshiping him and praising him and being aware of his presence in my life today, and I'm serving others, which is honestly easy for me to do in this season of life because I have 2 toddlers who I literally keep alive all day long. So when I know that I'm serving others and I know I'm taking my care of myself today, well, I've lived my life well. I've done the best that I could do with the time that I've been given. And the time that we've been giving is every minute that we are blinking and breathing. We aren't promised any more than this moment right now. So how are you living your best? How do you feel about it? Even if you're in a dead end job that you hate, or you're in a relationship that is damaging and hurting, if you love God with all your mind, body, and soul, and you serve others and love others as you love yourself, your choices and your thoughts about those responsibilities and that situation that you're in becomes more clear. And you're able to have a different perspective and understand that God is present in all of that. And even in the hurt and the grievance and the the unsuredness of what is going on, if God's at the forefront of your mind, then you are in prayer over those things, and it will be revealed to you the actions you need to take, right? Wallowing in the hurt and in the pain, there's a time for that. But there's a time for light and new mercies and change. And God provides that. And so when we focus on those things and not how we're feeling and allowing that to spiral into who we are because feelings are temporary, then we're able to make considerable efforts each day that we're giving to change the circumstances that we're in or to see other opportunities that are there. So, I want to encourage you today to be present where you're at, to love the Lord with all your mind, body, and soul, to serve others and love others as you love yourself, and to take care of yourself today. Because if you do those 3 things, you're going to lay your head down tonight and feel good about the life that you're living. Because despite your circumstances, you have the love and presence of Christ in your life. You've given more than you've received, and that fills a gap that nothing in this world can fill. And you've done things that serve your health well, whether it's taking the time to call a friend, playing your instrument, working out, reading a good book, laying down and meditating over God's word and having a moment of silence and relaxation. Whatever it is, Do those things to serve yourself. And today will have been a good day, and you will feel joy and contentment in your heart. If you haven't, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the button below, even tap the bell so you're notified every time I do go live or a new video is uploaded. I'd also love for you to join us over in our private Facebook community. You can find the link to that below. And if you didn't know, I have a podcast called The Thought Vault. It's a faith based personal development podcast that's focused on mindset and improving our lives mentally, physically, and spiritually. I would love to see you in those comments too, and to see you subscribe to that show. So it is called The Thought Vault, and I look forward to seeing you guys on here soon. Bye for now.